There we go. Okay. Now we're live. The Amusement Insider spot wasn't in the thing, so we weren't transmitting any audio. So now can you guys hear us?
Hey guys.
As I was saying,
Hello.
Our PowerPoint presentation is experiencing a bit of problems at the moment. It's not full screen. I apologize. We're going to get that sorted out after. But yeah, so 1 million views. That's crazy. In 9 months. Like, wow. Thank you so much. Like, honestly, never expected it. From flying the drone way back in November, like freezing my fingers off, flying this tiny little DJI Spark, to like now with like content from all over North America and the better drone and just everything better, you know, being invited to the media events from the park and all that. So super exciting, super fun. Hope you guys enjoy it. Eastern, they can hear us on YouTube, right?
Yep.
Perfect. Woo! Okay, now I'm in here. I'm catching up. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to do our weekly podcast as usual. Then we're going to have like, we have a bit, well, I have a big announcement for the channel. So I guess to kind of drop some hints, Insiders is growing really quickly. It's growing way faster than I ever expected compared to other channels out there. It's growing very, very quickly. I sound like Trump right now. But it's growing really quickly, and I couldn't be more thrilled. So with that comes a lot of change. And I have a really cool idea and concept for the channel that I really want to kind of introduce to you guys. I have some really unique concepts and ideas. But yeah, we'll go into our weekly update as usual right now, and then we'll get to the juicy information. There is stuff about Canada's Wonderland, so I have an update about the delay. We have stuff about Kings Island, Carowinds. We have stuff about pretty much every Cedar Point park, essentially in the top 5 category. But let's get right into it. Oh, I'm not even on the PowerPoint. All right. So with the announcement, Kentucky Flyer at Kentucky Kingdom. And this was a tough one. So, like, this is something that's become quite the meme online. And I made my video yesterday right after the announcement. And a lot of the times, most YouTubers, you really should take some time to digest before making a video. I do want to stress that if you listen to my whole video, at no point did I really bash the ride. I was more so bashing the theme, the logo, and the animation. So yes, this is an amazing fit for Kentucky Kingdom. Trust me, I know that. And I think this is these Gravity Group family coasters end up being really fun additions. I've heard really good things about them. So that's really good for Kentucky Kingdom. What do you guys think? What about you, Eastern? What do you think?
I definitely think this is going to be a great addition. Considering Oscar's Wacky Taxi and how well that was received, I think we're going to see the same thing here at Kentucky Kingdom. And overall, the layout looks great. I think it'll give a good ride experience, give a good airtime moments, bank turns, and overall a really fun ride that all can enjoy, including family.
I just want to check that everyone can hear us. There may also be a delay. Can everyone in chat hear us? Type in the little YouTube chat. Hey, okay. Yeah, it sounds like they can hear us. People are responding to us. Yeah, keep going, Eastern.
Oh no, I was done. I'm just saying, overall, it looks like a really good ride, and it'll be really fun.
What about you, Jasmine?
I have to agree. I think it's a good addition for the park. Like you said, they have had really good reactions to their recent additions, and so I think they're targeting their market really well. So even though the coaster community might see this and go like, wah, wah, I think overall it's going to go over well with their specific market, and it'll be a good addition to the park.
Mm-hmm. All right. So there isn't too much to discuss on this. Like it's a great fit for the park, but it's not something that is going to be talked about a lot. So we'll move on. Cedar Point. So as discussed, if we have any new subscribers in here or watching later on, one of the series we do is called Cedar Point Conspiracy Theories, and it's going to soon be just conspiracy theories for the whole industry, any park, any coaster. We'll discuss a topic. This topic is not something I believe in. It's just a topic that has been discussed in the community, and I'll provide the devil's advocate argument for both sides, and then I'll give you my honest opinion on the matter. So today's one was the B&M Strata coaster coming to Cedar Point. A lot of people are asking what this blueprint type thing is in the background. That is an Amusement Insiders project. So this was made by an Amusement Insider member, and it's being turned into something for a specific park. So more information on that to come. Take that as a little teaser, I guess. But yeah, so you already heard my opinion in my video about a B&M Strata coaster coming to Cedar Point. But what about you, Eastern? What do you have to say on the matter?
A B&M Strata. I don't think it's possible, only because while Cedar Point will always get good investments, I don't know if they're ready to make that big of an investment yet. I don't think they will anytime soon, but if they do, I think it'll be a great addition. Also, they haven't announced the closure of Magnum yet, and if we look at rides like Firehop, that was just announced to be closed, and that's a moderately large-sized ride. So I think if Magnum, if they were going to remove Magnum for Strata, I think we'd already have heard about a closure or removal of it by now. So I don't think that a Strata will be happening.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Jeff?
Whoa.
Oops, sorry guys, I'm having internet blips. Island life, what can you do? So I really like this conspiracy theory. I really like a good conspiracy theory in general, but I think that this is thinking more far future rather than near future. Like we're talking like 10 plus year plan here, but I do think it is possible, and I will justify my statement there. And you kind of touched on this in your video about the theory, Brendan, and that's that we'd be talking like, nothing's getting removed tomorrow. So in the next few years, we might see a removal or two at the park of some of these older rides that aren't as popular. Like you said, it might just be Magnum, it might just be the one. And that would be enough to make this a possibility. From there, I would justify this by saying that B&M isn't unwilling to do something new and to come up with a new design that they haven't tried before. They're just very cautious with it. So we saw that with Leviathan. They didn't breach 300 feet for a long time after Intamin. And they were very sure that the ride was going to work. It was going to be safe. It was going to be reliable, not a lot of downtime. So I think that I don't think a Strata is out of the range of possibility for B&M in the future, but I think we are thinking long term. So I think we could see a few years of Cedar Fair extending the life of older rides as long as possible, and then we might see a removal or two, and then a few years after that, similarly to how at Wonderland we saw Skyrider removed, and it was years before we saw something replacing its position in the park. I think it would be something like that, where they would really harp on, oh, this is a long-time favorite, this historical ride being removed, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then years later, we would see something worthy of that removal being put in its place. And it could very well be a Strata. I think that's entirely possible. I think B&M does have to branch out from time to time. They're just very cautious about it, and they plan carefully, and they make sure that the ride is going to be worth the gigantic investment that the park will have to invest in order to get their first one ever. So yeah, I like this theory. I'm curious to see what happens in the coming years, and more theories to come. I'm excited about this segment.
Yeah, of course. So it looks like people are joining. So just to quickly say this one more time, this is a blueprint for a special project for Amusement Insiders. This was designed by an Amusement member, and it's being turned into something for Amusement Insiders. You'll see more to come very shortly. But yeah, moving on. So exciting day for Carowinds. Vertical construction started. And I love that they made a really big deal about it. So super cute that they had the cameras out there and they were showcasing it. I love that, first kind of little pieces in place finally. And we all know from Yukon Striker, until the delay, that once they start constructing the coaster goes up really fast. It's essentially like Lego. What do you think, Eastern, about this whole vertical construction Copperhead Strike?
I think it's actually really good, and I can't wait to see more of track being installed and supports. I think it's really good that they're going vertical, considering they just had to deal with Hurricane Florence, and it doesn't seem like they're too delayed. So I think that the rest of construction will probably go very smoothly, and I think it's really exciting to see vertical at Carowinds.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
It's always exciting to see vertical construction, and like you said, I really like that it's being made interactive. They're posting about it, they're sharing it with the public, they're making it a big deal, and that's something I'd like to see more of from parks in general.
For sure. I wonder, these coasters, both Yukon Striker and Copperhead Strike, seem kind of ahead of schedule. So I'm just wondering how much theming there is with these coasters.
Let's hope that means a lot, because we've seen rides fly up over the course of just a winter, construction not even happening until after Haunt is winding down. But yeah, hopefully that means there's some kind of extra elements coming to these rides, either that or they're just planning for the unexpected. So, maybe there isn't really a delay with Yukon Striker because maybe they started super early in anticipation that there might be a delay. Yeah,
for sure. Which we're... Harry Potter and the Wizarding World, or I should say the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, a magical new adventure is coming in 2019. This kind of shocked everyone today. So it looks like we get a little sneak, and I say little, sneak peek of the new coaster. And a little teaser for... so from what I'm hearing, so it's opening in 2019 based off of this little poster. And there are also, apparently people are saying that we're going to know a little more very early 2019. So that means they'll probably make an announcement early 2019. And I have a few theories about this. So we know it's Intamin. Based off of what we're seeing, it looks like it has a ton of sensors and moving parts, areas of the coaster that need to communicate with each other. And whenever you see that, you see a lot of problems. So the coaster looks like it's moving along nicely, and it could be done in maybe a month or two. So that brings us closer to 2019, but not quite there. I have a feeling that they're having the announcement and everything so pushed back to account for any problems that may arise, to ensure the coaster, when it opens, it's actually ready. Because we noticed with a lot of these new tech rides and coasters that they have so much downtime when they open. Universal's trying to avoid that. What do you think, Eastern?
I don't think they'll be behind, in my honest opinion, because in my opinion, for what they've been building and, you know, what we've seen in pictures, they look so far ahead coaster-wise, and I think the only thing that they'll really need to worry about is theming and testing, which I do think they'll have plenty of time to do before they come to an official opening date. So in my opinion, I think they'll be fine in terms of construction and testing and things like that.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Jasmine?
Yeah, I think that, you know, it seems like a theme across the board where these parks are starting earlier and earlier to try to account for either the level of theming that they're doing or unexpected curveballs. And like Eastern said, this ride seems to be way far ahead from where it would need to be for when they're planning these announcements. So yeah, that totally has me curious as to whether it's going to be additional theming. I was kind of snooping around the rumors about this ride, and it seems like a lot of people are talking about, you know, backwards track sections and multiple launches and, you know, all sorts of additional elements that could be what they're planning for unexpected situations around. But that's also unconfirmed, so I'm curious to see which of these rumors play out to even be true. But in general, this sounds like it's sort of going to be, if these rumors are true, maybe sort of like Universal's take on an Expedition Everest type of experience, in which case I really, really hope they lean towards more real theming and less screens. Because when I went to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter myself, I had a really enjoyable experience, but I felt like, you know, their current sort of big name attractions are very virtual based, and I would like to see them stay more in the realm of real life theming, because that's very much the immersive type of experience that you have when you walk into that section of the park. And it would be great to see the rides kind of continue on with that. The only other thing I want to say about this is I really hope it's a worthy replacement for Dragon Challenge, because that was one of my favorite rides, and I was very sad to see it go.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just even reading comments right now. Alrighty, yeah, so I'm super excited. This is probably my most anticipated coaster for 2019, to be honest. That and Max Force.
Oh, yeah. High praise.
Right? Alrighty. Oh, Kings Island. Juicy. Had to drink some water there. Yeah, Firehawk was removed. This solidifies what a lot of enthusiasts have pretty much been predicting. So somewhat solidifies, by the way, what some enthusiasts have been predicting, a Giga Coaster coming to Kings Island. I strongly do believe now that Kings Island is getting a Giga Coaster. When you remove an attraction like this, even if it's at the end of its service life, you typically have to replace it with something big as well. And this was a unique flying coaster, or laydown coaster, essentially, that belonged to Kings Island, and they need to replace it with something unique and awesome. And to be honest, Kings Island really needs that world record coaster. And that's why, again, in a separate video, I'll make a video about why I truly believe that Kings Island's going to get that awesome record-breaking Giga Coaster. And Fury will probably be dethroned. But yeah, so it was lit, but it's time to go. A lot of people aren't too sad because apparently it's not that comfortable of a ride. So what do you think, Eastern?
I honestly don't know. Like, I'm speechless right now. Yeah, I'm speechless. Come back to me, please.
Jasm?
I like your visual here. It was lit, Pam, but it does need to go. And I think that we're seeing, like I said, we're seeing that trend of older rides being removed and creating space for new additions and new innovation. And I totally hope that even if it's not necessarily breaking all the records, I think new innovation is my big hope for this ride, is that it's worth the removal of something that the park considered a classic and a beloved ride, even though I found it kind of hilarious that, like, when you read the comments of their announcement and making a big deal of RIP, Firehawk, all of the comments were kind of like, nobody cares, what's the new ride? But even with that said, I similarly to the Harry Potter ride, I just hope it's a worthy replacement. And obviously it will be, even if it's not a Giga, because this is an older ride we're talking about. But I would like to see some new innovation brought into the picture, maybe something we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, my Wi-Fi was glitching. Talking about Kings Island, I think Firehawk definitely sounded like it needed to go for multiple people, whether it's enthusiasts or people who work at the park. Firehawk hasn't been in the best of shape, and I definitely think it'll be something similar to Wonderland, where they remove a ride and then they make way for a new big coaster that everyone will. I definitely think that's what we're going to see here. Considering the year, I think it'll be anywhere from 2020 to 2022. Just because it's like 3 to 5 years from Mystic Timbers to whatever coaster this may be. And overall, I do think it'll be a good ride and definitely be a better replacement for Firehawk.
Out of curiosity, does anyone think that this has anything to do with the teaser posters that we've been seeing and, talking about for months now? I know that there was mention in all of the rumors about it having something to do with the Outpost 5 sign that's popped up, and it could be tied to any of those other teaser posters that we've seen floating around.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they used the lore Son of Beast and they used the Outpost 5 theme. I don't know if they're specifically going to use the Son of Beast, just because in my honest opinion, I don't understand why you would bring the name of like Son of Beast back when it had such a bad reputation for a variety of reasons. So I think that Outpost 5 definitely could be used in whatever coaster this may be. I definitely think that is possible.
I'm super curious to start putting the pieces together with all these teasers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Brandon, we do know about that in already. That's kind of old. So just to go over that news in case someone else doesn't know in here, there has been some information coming forward that it may not even make it. Firehawk may not even make it up to the closing date. So if you want to go ride it, I would go ride it ASAP. We're hearing that spare parts are essentially run out. So I don't even know if the coaster's still open, but I'm hearing that the coaster may not make it all the way to that closing date that they set.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to talk about RMC Quasi? We did already talk about that in a previous stream. We like to keep the streams to just weekly news that's currently going on, just so we're not having a 2-hour video. All right. Okay. So Yukon Striker with the big red delayed sticker slapped right on top of it. So we have an update. From what I saw today from my brief flight, and from what I'm essentially gathering is Yukon Striker will start construction again shortly. They're looking to maybe have it done by the looks of it sometime soon. All the parts are laid down. They're pouring the footer. Everything looks good. So if they're pouring the footer, I've heard that they can buy concrete that can cure footing. Again, footing. I keep having to stop myself from saying footer. For the footing, they can buy a concrete that can cure in just a couple days. So construction will start again. And it looks like it was definitely a problem with the footing, misalignment, I'm assuming. They had the clearance rack in there. For any of you that saw our behind the scenes tour, you could see almost wheel markings on the track. So you could tell the clearance rack was in there and maybe didn't align properly. That would be my guess if I had to take an honest guess. It's definitely something to do with the footing, though, if you want a concrete answer. That was almost like a pun on what happened. But yeah, Yukon Striker will start construction again. They were already ahead of schedule. It was slated to be done installation by the end of December. For Canada, that's an early time. I mean, I think they can start testing the thing until March. So even if there's a delay, it's not a delay for the opening, if that makes sense. What's in the footing? What do you think, Eastern, about all that's happened?
I'm just really glad that Yukon Striker isn't fully delayed. I just think it's going to be great how they're trying to finish in December, testing by March, possibly opening in April. Construction definitely has been going faster than normal. So if anything, this is just a small setback because, they've started so early, right? So, they've been doing well, and I think they'll continue to do well. We'll see more pieces going up and things like that, and all that fun stuff.
There's trouble afoot. That was such a dad joke.
Keep the puns coming.
And what about you, Jasmine? What do you think about the delay? Even though
Well, I think it's important to stress that a construction delay does not necessarily mean an opening delay, especially when a ride is being put together this far in advance and they're clearly planning ahead for issues like this or other issues that may arise. And that what we're talking about here is when you have, whether it's a ride construction, a building construction, any kind of construction, there is a plan out in place that on this day we're going to do this, on this day we're going to do this, and you have by-whens. So by X date, we're going to have this much completed. By, the following week, we'll have this much completed. So when something like this happens, it is a delay in the construction, but that's not to say that the ride's going to be not finished on time or there's going to be any kind of issues with it when it is finished. It just means that they now have to adjust their construction plan by however many days this has halted them by. So just for all of the sassy comments that are like, you don't know anything about construction, no, this is part of how construction works. Delays happen and they have contingency plans for them and they just adjust their plan, but it is a delay. With that said, I think they've clearly planned very, very smart with this ride. And, like we were talking about throughout this stream, that these parks are planning smarter and smarter when it comes to these rides, because in the past we've seen lots of delayed openings. And so obviously they are doing things early enough to keep that possibility in mind. And I think it's very likely that we could have one or two more issues, because winter happens and weather can be unpredictable in this part of the world. And basically these things can happen. So don't expect a completely smooth sailing type of situation going forwards. But I think that they are making extremely good time and that we will see this ride open on time.
Awesome. Okay. So the announcement. So that was our weekly news update. So if you guys want to ask us questions, get them ready. I'm going to talk to you guys quickly about what's coming to Amusement Insiders and what I'm changing so we already have our AI our underrated series, our top 10, and then I vlog into this because we're still working out what that'll be coming in the park. Then we have downtime, which will be starting very and it is not what you it's going to be about, rides that have a lot of downtime and stuff like that. That's not what it is. So essentially it's a concept where myself and some other coaster YouTubers will go on a stream together and we just discuss some important news. I'll let you guys talk to us. And it's just going to be called Downtime because it's literally just downtime where we're just going to be there to talk to you guys and address any industry news. So essentially a little to this, but different in the sense where it's just going to be big topics and you guys can ask us anything as well. So we're just getting some YouTubers lined up for the series and then we'll start it from then. We haven't decided if it's going to be every other week or once a month yet. We'll figure that out as we go along. So I just thought that was something cool that, the industry lacked a little bit of, and I wanted to see if you guys liked that as well. In terms of where I'm going to take this channel, so we've been discussing a lot what we're going to do with Amusement Insiders because Amusement Insiders is growing very quickly. It's growing a lot quicker than any of us could have even predicted. We're forecasted to be at 10,000 subscribers for the year end. So before our 1-year anniversary of the channel, which is crazy. Because then the thing with YouTube is once you start growing and the quicker you grow, the quicker you actually keep growing. As long as you're putting out content and you're listening to your viewers and changing and constantly adapting to new trends and doing what you love, which anyone who knows me knows that literally this is everything I absolutely love. flying a drone every day, doing construction updates is actually something I love doing a little too much. So something I've been thinking about is turning Amusement Insiders into almost a network. So picture like a TV network, and then it has, its TV shows on the network. I really want the content to be kind of like high production. So, for example, if it's a series, I want it to, in 2019, be like an actual TV show. So if you're watching a video, it's like a 10 to 30 minute video that has some production value thrown in there for you guys. I don't want it to be, just the construction updates we're doing now. Those will still exist, but I want there to be almost like a schedule. So on Mondays, to go to Amusement Insiders to watch their conspiracy theories. Or on Fridays, to go to Amusement Insiders because there'll be the underrated series. So we're working on some TV show concepts that we could do, because we just feel like the amusement industry, everyone does the same thing. You go to a channel, everyone does, their top 10s, everyone does their predictions, everyone does the vlogs, and everyone does the cinematic footage. So the one thing you'll never see on our channel is the cinematic footage. So we will never do, park tours with the cinematic footage. That's just not us. We're aiming for something a little different. So we want Amusement Insiders to continue to be super different, and we will figure out what kind of content can be kind of absorbed into that. And if you have any suggestions, or if there's anything missing in the industry on YouTube, feel free to reach out to us, because I would love to digest that. We're definitely looking for, again, TV show type series to have on the channel. Eastern and Jasmine, do you want to say anything about the 1 million views or all these changes that are coming?
I think all of it's very exciting. As things grow, you expand, and I think all of this is going to be really, awesome, seeing how all of it plays out, how all of it, goes through, and I just think this is a really exciting moment in Amusement Insiders that I think none of you are really going to want to miss. All of you are really going to want to be there, to see all this.
I second that. I think this is a first big marker in Amusement Insider's future, and what kind of success this channel is headed towards. Like 1 million is a huge number, and that happened in no time. And so I think that we're going to see the growth take an exponential leap from here. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the fans have as far as their suggestions go. I think it's amazing that you're this interactive with your channel and that you listen to their feedback so closely. Like you said, that's what makes it a successful channel. So yeah, these kind of temperature checks regularly to see like how people are feeling about your content and what kind of content they'd like to see going forwards is going to be super helpful. And I'm just super excited to be a part of it. And now that things are settling down a little bit in my life, I hope to be a part of it much more regularly.
Of course. So I guess that brings us to our question period. So if you guys have any questions you want to ask us before we wrap up, again, I really want to thank you. 1 million views is absolutely crazy. And 10,000 subscribers before November, the end of November, is crazy as well. So huge thank you to you guys. And keep sending me feedback on Instagram. So Amusement Insiders on Instagram. I read every single message. Send me a message, any suggestions, any improvements you would like to see. Definitely let me know. I read them all. As long as you're not insulting me or, Amusement Insiders, then I'll read it and take it to heart. But the minute you start like attacking, that's when I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm not going to read that. But definitely send me some feedback and suggestions. I'm definitely open to that. What do you think of Batman at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom? Ooh. I haven't been on it. I definitely am hitting up some Six Flags parks next year, though. I have to. Six Flags Great Adventure is probably going to be on the top of that list. What do you guys think? Oh, Eastern, you went full robot.
Oh, I did. No.
I kind of like it.
Hello.
Oh, no, you come back. You're broken.
Fantastic.
He died.
Sounds like a character from Batman. Who's the one that I'm thinking of?
Have you been to Lagoon? I have not been to Lagoon, so I'm Canadian. I've only been to the Canadian parks and the very big American parks, so Cedar Point, Orlando, and all them. What's the worst announcement for 2019 so far? Okay, Jasmine and I can both answer this. Jasmine, do you want to start?
No, you start.
Oh,
I don't think my answer is going to be the same as yours.
The worst announcement. Okay, he used the word that includes everything. I'm gonna say Kentucky Flyer just because of everything. But I mean, you could also put the Harry Potter coaster down in there too, because there hasn't been any announcement, and it opens up in 2019. You can even throw Dorney Park in there if they're getting a coaster, which it looks like they're getting because there hasn't been any development yet, or teasing. I don't know. There's so many, but the worst announcement altogether is definitely Kentucky Flyer, in my opinion.
I was going to say the Harry Potter ride just because so much had happened before they announced it. And to me, like, you know how I feel about all the business side of things, and I just think that's not very smart. I think, yeah, announcements need to happen and be involving the public and getting them excited.
I think Max Force will be the best 2019 edition, in my opinion. That or Steel Curtain. Both of those look very underrated, and they'll pack a big punch for their size.
Yeah. Where do we think the station for the Kings Island Giga will be? Well, I think Firehawk, right?
Yeah, Firehawk probably.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Looking for any questions. What is the best soda and why is it Dr. Pepper?
Thanks, Pepper, for the contribution. I feel like you answered that one. I don't know.
For me, it's a Diet Coke. All right, let me catch what's. Where are you going? When are you going to Kings Island? So I'll be going probably when I hit up Carowinds on my way back. I'll hit it up. So maybe, maybe not. Actually, I might have to go when I hit up Cedar Point or something. I don't know yet. That's the answer. Are any of you going to Kings Island in 2019?
Unfortunately, no. I plan on going in the future.
We got more of these questions. The best roller coaster and why is it Skull Mountain?
Oh, definitely underrated ride. I will say that.
What do we think is coming? Oh, sorry. Go, Jasmine.
I was just going to read out one from the Patreon chat. What's your opinion of KI besides Giga? What other rides would you think are possible?
Wing.
Yeah, I think a wing would work well.
Yeah, fair.
Great Adventure new coaster? 2020 question mark?
Yeah, they're definitely due. They're getting a coaster.
They're due.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope so.
What's your opinion of Great Adventure in general? Ooh.
To be honest, I don't know if I should say this as a coaster YouTuber.
Oh!
Oh, the stream's cutting out. Oh no, we gotta end. I honestly think Great Adventure might be the best Six Flags park.
Ooh.
I can see that. I definitely.
I'm gonna have some angry fans.
I know. The
Okay,
10,000 subscribers by like November just became 5,000.
We skipped a question that got me thinking. So Brandon asked, do you think SOB Station, Son of Beast, never mind. So do you think Son of Beast Station will be utilized?
No, because it's surrounded by coasters already, and they why would they remove Firehawk if they were going to build all the way over?
It'd be too far away.
Yeah.
It could be utilized somehow with the ride. And I'm just thinking of the teasing of like Son of Beast being mentioned. I like that question. I'm going to mull on it for a bit.
Just choke on the footer again. Oh wow, I must be really far behind on these questions.
Strata Wing Flyer. Okay.
Great Adventure is actually weaker than it seems. The coaster lineup is good, but it's pretty ugly over there, except for Skull Mountain, of course.
Oh, I'd love to have a talk with you. Mm-hmm.
Kings Island Giga.
We have some croissant questions in the Patreon chat.
Oh.
What do we think the future of Michigan's adventure?
If I'm being honest, I do think that if the park was by itself, I do think it would be in a better state than it currently is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at Kentucky Kingdom. Now that they're on their own, they seem to be doing really well, right? So I think if Michigan's Adventure, kind of went along that route, I do think that they'd do better as if they were owned by themselves.
What's our favorite croissant is what we're being asked by our Patreon. Honestly, the almond butter croissant from Starbucks is my favorite.
Chocolate filled every time.
I'm trying to see if we missed any other questions from Patreon while I'm in here.
What's your thoughts on Infinity Falls?
It looks amazing, to be honest. Like, absolutely amazing, to be honest. Like, it looks way better than Bluto's Barge. I'm saying the name wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
Tomb Raider the ride's building utilization, ideas for what it could be used for.
I don't know what Tomb Raider is, so I would not know.
Cloudy Plays. I'm definitely reading your questions. In fact, I'm reading your guys' questions more than I'm reading the Patreon's questions. That's why I'm being yelled at right now.
These kids aren't getting their money's worth.
How do you like Canada's Wonderland's pretzels? I haven't tried one yet, but they look amazing, but I've heard the price.
You need a pretzel discount day.
Coaster Studios or Coaster Frenzy? No, you can't ask me a question like that. That's just...
Hershey 2020 thoughts, question mark?
I think we all started to agree on this. Some we think it's going to be a wind coaster now.
Yeah. I think the two main popular things that a lot of us are thinking are wind coaster or hyper coaster. Although people are starting to lean more on the wing side, but who knows? It could be one or the other.
$1 days, man. I think Canada's Wonderland does $2 days, not $1 days. Okay, so we have a question from Cloudy Plays. He was on that. What do we think is the future of Michigan's adventure?
I think I gave my opinion on it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Jasmine?
I feel like it's getting left behind, but I don't want it to. I think the future is as a family park, not necessarily like a high thrill park. But I definitely think it could be better utilized than it currently is.
I agree. It's definitely being left behind, and it's sad. And I think a lot of the smaller parks are going to start to get left behind now because they're focusing on their bigger parks. Can you hear us? I think we temporarily had a delay there. The Amusement Insiders bot took a left Discord. Feeling that. But yeah, yes, I will sponsor that boxing match. What records do you think Kings Island's Giga will break? I think it's going to break height, length, and speed. What about you guys?
I think it'll break height. I think it'll break height, length, and speed in terms of Cedar Fair in North America. I don't know if it'll be overall because people do consider Red Force to be a giga. I mean, it is technically over 300 feet, so technically speaking, yes. I do think that they will go for tallest, fastest, and longest giga in North America.
Sorry, keep going. So funny. I'll read it.
Oh, no, yeah, I'm saying they'll go tallest, fastest, and longest.
Oh, yeah. What about you, Jasmine?
Sorry, I was also stuck on funny comments. I missed the question.
I'm loving the comments right now. I'm like,
the comments are lit.
Carowinds, cameras on Carowinds is like killing it.
Yeah, agreed.
The question was, what record do you think the Kings Island Giga will?
Ooh, Giga records. I would like to see most inversions.
Yeah.
Most wait, what?
What is your...
Did she say most inversions?
Yeah, because we don't have inversions on Gigas generally.
I was like so shook there for a second.
That would be the easiest one, let's be real. I don't know, I think the most likely ones to beat are fastest.
Yeah.
I think fastest would be the most likely, but I would like to see inversions on a Giga.
Favorite coaster? Mine's blue. What about you guys?
My favorite color is blue.
I can't say blue now.
Oh.
I don't know. I like the colors you don't see a lot. Like I would like to see more like golds, whites, purple.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna answer. So I haven't been to Kentucky Kingdom, but I think it looks like an amazing park. I'll answer that, and then I'll answer this last question. We'll all answer this together. Is RMC T-Rex rumor coming? Is the RMC T-Rex rumor coming to Great Adventure in 2020? It's a tough one. I don't know if the T-Rex model is ready yet. That's my only problem, because they've been quoted on saying they want more Raptor models sold before they start selling the T-Rex model. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, if there's one due in 2020, then Great Adventure is probably it, to be honest. I don't see Cedar Fair purchasing it. As you can tell, I've had sleep last night. I'm like yawning in my stream. So if you guys find me bored now, that's okay, because I'm yawning at myself. If there's an RMC T-Rex coming in 2020, it's probably for Great Adventure. If not, I think you guys are still due for a really big coaster. So I think you guys will get a Sky Warp. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, unhealthy.
For those of you that don't get Eastern Thrills, who's in here right now, his home park is Great Adventure, and I constantly tease him about getting Sky Warp merry-go-rounds and stuff like that. So I just had to throw that one line in.
Yeah. Yeah, but quickly talking about Great Adventure, I do think Great Adventure will be getting something in 2020. So for everyone who plans on going to Great Adventure in 2020 or has the home park of Great Adventure, all I will say is watch very closely, because 2019 and 2020 will be very interesting years for the park and the area surrounding the park.
What about you, Jasm?
I like the idea of a T-Rex for Great Adventure. I think that would be a really good fit.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm just quickly comment. Firehawk will be turned into firewood.
Undulated.
Wait, did I misspell something?
No, somebody else did that.
Most underrated RMC. You want me to trigger now?
Yeah.
Steel Vengeance.
Oh.
Here's why.
Do you mean undulated?
Steel Vengeance is the most underrated coaster because they spent so much money on it. It's so impressive, and it did not get the attention it deserved. So you guys are going, what? It got so much attention. Yes, the coaster community gave it a lot of attention. I'm not referring to just the coaster community. It is underrated to the world. The media literally took that giant spotlight that was just about to go shine on that coaster, and they smashed it into a million smithereens, and it essentially rendered the coaster useless for boosting attendance this season at Cedar Point. I think a lot of guests didn't even get to ride it. A lot of people turned away when they saw those long lines. It's just had so much negative attention this year that I think like the amazing ride experience it is totally got overshadowed by this negative dark cloud called the media. Yeah, and that is my argument on Steel Vengeance is the most underrated RC. And I triggered the internet. I'm done.
I like that argument though, and I think there's some truth to it. Like, it definitely isn't something that had the kind of attention that, like, you know, the big impressive rides like King Dakar when it opened, and they really had a lot of media attention, and they had a lot of the public wanting to join those gigantic lineups to ride them, and Steel Vengeance should elicit that same reaction. And it did within the coaster community, but not in general. So I kind of agree with that.
I don't know if it's the most underrated. I definitely think it's underrated in some senses. Like, I definitely don't think the ride's over. But I do think that Twisted Timbers is honestly the most underrated RMC. I say that from experience, and wow, that ride is insanity. Like, whew, that ride is really good. Like, honestly.
Mm-hmm. So for those of you still asking us questions, I have no life. I am always in our Discord server, the Amusement Insiders Discord. I'm always in voice chat. Literally, for the wrong reasons, we are the most active coaster Discord chat there is when it comes to voice chat. So if you want to come hang out, we're always in there. So feel free to come hang out. We don't have a limit or anything. We are strict on talking over each other though. That's it. So if you want to come talk, hang out, join us on Amusement Insiders Discord. And we are always in there because, again, I have no life. Thank you literally so much for making this project I've been working on, and we've all been working on, a huge success. And I still cannot believe how quickly this grew. I remember way back, and Jasmine might have been there for this too, and Eastern, you were almost like an OG. We were like aiming for like 3,000 subscribers after like a year. So this is just crazy. It's just crazy. And I really enjoy the feedback you guys are providing me on the conspiracy theories. The videos get a lot of dislikes, and that is expected because they are controversial. And no matter what you do, no matter what stance you take, you're going to get dislikes on any controversial topic. And they are topics that I've literally like scoured the web for. Like the smallest topic that goes around a rumor that isn't discussed a lot. I'm trying to find those. So if you have conspiracy theories, send them my way. And I will try and make it into the series. And I'm really glad you guys really enjoy it. There are more to come. It will always be a thing for as long as there are rumors. So thank you. Eastern and Jasmine, do you have anything else to say?
Just thanks for like letting me be a part of this. I'm still a very small YouTuber, and every time I come in the stream, I see such positive reactions to you guys seeing me in here, or hearing me in here, I guess. And I just really appreciate it. This is one of my favorite communities on YouTube, if not my favorite, because of the level of interaction and how amazing all of our viewers are. And so I'm just super excited to be a part of it. I'm super proud of you, Brendan, and excited to see this kind of growth. And here's to more in the future.
Aww.
Yeah, I definitely, from November of 2017 to right now, wow, like, you know, just the community that's been built, and, you know, all the positivity that's there, you know, it's been, honestly, I'm honestly really honored to be a part of this. Like everyone here is amazing, like all the viewers are amazing, all the people I honestly think that, you know, I mean, I can't wait for Amusement Insiders to continue growing. And here's to future years with Amusement Insiders.
Yay. Yeah, sorry, the bot kept leaving. The bot doesn't like us today. The bot's like, I'm not celebrating with you guys. I'm hungover from yesterday. Goodbye, I'm going to bed. Awesome. So thanks so much for joining us, guys. Again, our new weekly streams are every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So come join us. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.